God. It was like terrifying. And that was the same year my brother went to IIMA, to the military academy, and my mother says that for the entire first year, every time the doorbell rang, she was fully prepared for one of us to be there with our bags saying, you know what, I can't take the pressure. And she said she pretty near couldn't take the pressure because it was double the pressure, because both of us were in environments where we couldn't cope. So it was a killer, and we used to joke that the faculty, the joke came the second year. First year we were too scared to even joke. But the fact that there's no ragging on this campus because the faculty rag you. And I remember till the end of the first year, we did not have the courage to change our seats. You sat where you were told to sit. Just yesterday, Santosh Desai had come and I attended his class with Jen. And we remember, he said he sat in this particular row and there were only 2 Desais. And I said I sat in a row, my maiden name was R.A.O. Rao. So there was Rao HRC, Rao JMM. We were a whole row of Raos, which was called one hell of a Rao. Which my classmates still remember. I was called Little Goldie Girl because I was all of 18 and I have 3 sets of clothes and I'd never been away from home and I didn't understand, I suppose, appropriate behavior. At one level I said what I wanted, but it was really horrible because you come from physics, you don't know, but I think that is actually the greatness of the place. So you don't know a debit from a credit. No one in your life has ever used that word around you. And you're taught Manak in term 1, then you get an F. You've never got an F in your life. And then you're told to go to remedial class. And if you go to remedial class, then you can't read the Jen Vora torture camp number of pages you're supposed to do. And then there are always, we now find a guy from the batch, we never let him forget it, is that he would come to the girls' dorm and he would help us with our Manak until we discovered that he was not a chartered accountant. He would learn in the boys' dorm and come to the girls' dorm. And then we had MSM, which I wrote, if you saw the obit I wrote for Dr. Moti, I talked about the horrible trinity of Moti Sahamalia. And then there was Madhavan, who was an FPM. He was a professor later. So the first year, he actually ran in his class, in his dorm room, maths lessons for all of us. So all of us, women plus a few men who didn't know any better, would land up there. Though I was okay with maths, but all the engineers failed basically. So MSM also they failed you, Manak also they failed you. I remember in marketing the first session, Vora and Company, one of my classmates who became a gold medal later, Hemant Shah, used the word break even, and I had never heard the word break even. So can you imagine the steepness of that learning curve? It was a nightmare, and there was a case called the case of the rat-eaten report, where it was Bala's favorite, and it was bits and pieces of a rat-eaten report, and you had to piece it together. And you had no hope in hell of how you did anything. So it was only many years later that I realized what I'd learned, but I thought I'd learned nothing, and just the pressure to keep up was horrific.